Hello and welcome everyone to Salesforce Women in Tech Group Kolkata. We are here with part 5 of Pardot Zero to Hero workshop. A very quick introduction about me. My name is Kathy Mehta. I'm a proud Salesforce marketing champion. I was recently featured on Salesforce blog for my outreach work. Professionally, I work as a Salesforce developer at Cognizant Technology Solutions. I am 4x Salesforce certified. I love community, hence I am a community speaker, trailhead mentor. I also have my blog all about Salesforce, and I also run a podcast named Salesforce Offbits with Kathy. We have a contest running, which is you can post about the workshop, your likes, your dislikes, your key takeaways, anything you like over LinkedIn and Twitter, and you have to tag with Kolkata Pardot me Khyatu07 and our speaker Soumya Krishna 12, and also use hashtags with Kolkata and with Pardot. You can also tag us over LinkedIn with our handles, and winner will be chosen at the end of the day. So the agenda of the workshop is this 8-day workshop will include everything about Pardot with detailed demos wherever applicable. The workshop is planned in detailed exercise manner so that it helps trailblazers understand everything from scratch about Pardot. We have an amazing lineup of marketing champions to cover up the exercises and offer their guidance. Please note, we will not be able to provide a practice org, but we'll do our best to include detailed demos. We will also try our best to cover all the release updates for each topic. So, we have our speaker for the day, Soumya Shrivastava. She is a Salesforce marketing champion. She is a Pardot specialist and a marketing cloud specialist. She also leads Pardot user group Gurgaon. Over to you, Soumya.
You for the wonderful session, Kathy. Hello, everyone. And welcome back to the session 5 of the Pardot Zero to Hero by Kolkata WIT Group. And today's discussion we'll have about, first let me share my screen. So I'm switching off my camera in the meanwhile, okay? Just let me know when my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So, like the brief introduction given by Kathy, my name is Soumya, and I work as a Pardot and marketing cloud specialist at Mandas Technologies. So today, like this was just a brief discussion, like introduction, what Kathy shared as well. And apart from that, as she also shared with you the social media like handles, and you can just connect with us, and if you have any questions, any queries, you can get back to us with your queries. Okay, so for today's agenda, we have some of the small, but I cannot. It's actually small, but it's like very important. Like part of the Pardot application. Like in the previous sessions, we have discussed about what Pardot prospects are, what automations are, what how we can create email templates, how we can work on landing pages. So now this is what today in today's discussion we are going to talk about the automation, other automation rules or automation like actions that can be created in the backend on the basis of what data we have about the prospects in our database. So there are four types of automations that we can have. That is first the automation rules, completion actions, segmentation rules, and custom redirects and page actions. So these are very useful in terms of how you want to utilize your Pardot prospects data to like function them in a way to send out emails or managing them in the database or also in sync with the CRM side. So first talking about the automation rules, like we'll very quickly go through each one of them here and then we'll switch to demo that where we can have a better understanding on these. So first is about automation rules where we can create some criteria based rules and the prospects who match these criteria will fulfill the actions that are defined under that criteria and the automation rule. So basically, this is that actually works on the Pardot database for the existing prospects as well. So let's say that you have a prospect database, large prospect database, and out of that, you want to select prospects or maybe filter out those prospects based on some criteria. So you can define that criteria, you can define the action what you would like to take for that particular filtered prospect list, and then you can like execute it. So it will work for the entire Pardot database. Whoever will be meeting the criteria will be like taking that whatever action what that was defined. So this is going to work like one time. But if you want it to be a repeatable action, so it is also possible that you can make the automation rule to be in a like function in a repeated manner. Then it is about completion actions. Completion actions are different from what we talked about in the automation rules. So completion actions are not retroactive in nature. So it's only going to take place, or maybe the actions are only going to take forward with the prospects who have taken some action, like somebody like from the prospect side, whatever activity or engagement has been taken from the prospect side. On the basis of that, this completion actions will execute. So they will be different activities that will be executed for the prospects who are identified, or maybe the cookie prospects. It will not work for the visitors. Okay, so if for any action like form submission, landing page view, or maybe in like anywhere else in page actions or custom redirects, if you have defined completion actions, so it won't work for the ones who are not cookied. So for this to execute, the prospects should be cookied within Pardot, and the information should be there. It won't work for the visitors. So this will execute every time the action is taken. So as I mentioned, that whenever an action is performed, like a form is submitted, so whatever completion actions we have defined for form submission, the completion actions will execute in whatever manner we have defined. Similarly for the other prospect activity as well. So this is completely based on that activity that prospect takes. Then the another one that we have is segmentation rules. So this also like allows you to pull list based on criteria. So like in automation rules, we were defining criteria and we were taking some particular set of actions, but they were repeatable and they were automatic in nature. But in segmentation rules, they are one time, like one time rules you can define, and you can just pull the prospects to a list, or maybe add them to a campaign, or maybe add tags to those particular list of prospects. So it is just like pulling a list of prospects from the entire Pardot database based on what criteria you have to find. Okay, so they are not going to run continuously. They will be just at the time of you just uh, create the segmentation rule and you execute it. Only at that time it will filter out the prospects, and whatever action is defined, it will take place. This about all these automations, we'll get more clarity when we like talk it and like see it in the demo. Then the fourth one is custom redirects. So you know that Pardot helps with website tracking or the web page tracking with the help of the tracking code. But apart from the pages that are hosted in Pardot, if you want to track any third-party website or third-party link, so you can use custom redirects. You can just place those links in custom redirects option. That URL can be used, and then based on the whatever completion actions you define, it will take place. So as soon as somebody clicks on that URL, somebody visits that URL, so that will be tracked, that activity will be tracked in Pardot. Okay, and based on that, whatever actions you define, that will take place. And the last we have is page actions. Page actions is like suppose you have multiple Pardot uh, hosted pages there in your system, but you want that so for some of my specific pages, I want that a particular set of actions should take place. Like if somebody views my content on this page, so like some action should be taken, maybe to assign maybe to like notify a particular user, or like add them to particular list, or maybe assign them a tag. So in that way, for specific pages that are already having the Pardot tracking code on them, you can track the activity on that particular page and the Pardot and take certain actions. So these are basically the 5 automations that you can use, where you can just like take actions based on the data that you have and also on the activity from the prospect side. So let me quickly get into the demo. Okay, so the first one was automation rules. So for that, as I mentioned, that it's retroactive in nature, and we need to define the criteria and the action that we need to have in the system. So if I go ahead and create an automation rule, I'll place it in a folder wherever it is defined. So you can have multiple folders created, and you can select the desired folder. You can have a description for it, that what this automation rule does. If you want to have a brief for the Pardot users to look into, you can define the tags. You can add tag for this particular automation rule to identify. You can have repeat rule, like if you want that your automation rule should be executed more than once, so you can check this repeat rule box here. And then here you can define the rule and actions. So as I mentioned, you can have multiple criteria defined here, and that can be a combination of multiple complex criteria that you would like to define in the system. And on the basis of that, you can send schedule the actions, like what actions you would like to take. So for example, if I just take for the prospect activity, so these are all the options that I have here for setting up the criteria. So let's say that okay, so for example, I'm just creating an automation rule where if a prospect has opened my email in the last, or maybe has not opened an email, maybe I'm trying to create an automation rule where the prospects who have not engaged with any of my email content in the last let's say 60 days, or maybe 90 days, like in 3 months, if they have not interacted with any of my email, like they have not opened, they have not seen any of my emails, so I just want to send them another email and check that whether they're interested to receive, or maybe if they do not respond to that email as also, then I can just mark them as my cold prospects, and I can move them to to a cold prospect list, and I can remove them from my current campaigns that are executing. Like I can add them to a suppression list or so. So in that way, I can like execute. Now this is just a single rule and I'm defining it here, but you can have multiple rules that can have criteria with match all and match any. Like you can either have this and this condition, or maybe like this or this condition. So either of these, if that needs to be qualified, or if all the specified rules should be like qualified, or maybe that fulfilled before the prospect goes to the defined set of actions here. So you can like create rules like that if I have multiple rules. Other than that, if you want to create multiple rule groups, okay, so you can have different rule groups, that okay, if this set of action and this set of action execute or like fulfills, if a prospect fulfills my first group of rules and also the other group of rules, or maybe either of them, so on the basis of that you can define your action. So this can have contain all kind of complexities that you can think of while working on your prospect information that you have. And then based on the rules, I would like to define the actions. Now in action, again, I have got multiple options, like adding them to a list, maybe like uh, assigning them to a Salesforce assignment rule, creating a Salesforce task, and maybe I want them to not sync with CRM because I do not consider them as an active prospect, and they should not be like synced to CRM so that the sales users do not get the cold prospect. So like kind of that uh, like condition if you want to fulfill, so you can use to not sync with CRM as well. So maybe I'll use this option, and I can just try to send them an email. Okay, I can just create a sample, like basic email template with the content that we did not find you, or we were missing you, like that. And if you would like to receive communications from us, please subscribe, or maybe fill up the form so that they become as an active prospect in my database. And then I can like include them into my further running campaigns at the moment. And if they do not, I can just push them out of my current campaign, so that I do not unnecessarily keep on sending my emails or including them in my campaigns as a gold prospect. So I can just select any of the email template, and just I have got all the demo content here. So I'll just select one of these, and if now once I've defined the actions, it's time to select it whether or not I can execute this automation rule in the real time. So this option is usually used when it's like a time sensitive rule that we need to execute, like you do not want that particular action to take place, like for example, if on the form submission you want that first the automation rule should be checked, and then the further completion actions should take place. Okay, so let's say that if I have selected do not sync with CRM, or maybe I'm like sending them, or maybe I'm taking any other action that is not there in my completion action. Okay, so if I want to give preference to the automation rule instead of completion action, so in that place I can use execute in real time. So at that only moment, this automation rule will be checked, and if they fulfill it, the actions will be taken. Okay, and this is not always used. This is not an option that we always prefer to use. It's because it comparatively like slows down the process. Okay, so the loading time increases and everything, because now the automation rule needs to be checked at that in the real time, in that particular time itself. So the loading time increases because it has to come back to Pardot, check for that information, like fulfilling the criteria or not, and then getting back to that, and then the further set of automations are going to execute. So that's why execute in real time is not always used. But if it's something that is time sensitive and you want to use it, so you can just go for and execute in real time. Now once I have like defined all my steps, I'll create an automation rule, and when I create it, it will be in the paused state. So when I click it, I can review all my steps. If I'm okay with it, I can just go here and resume my automation rule. So when I click here, I can, the automation rule will get live. Also, if you want to check that how many of them like fulfill this match, you can just click on preview matches, and you can see that how many prospects in your current database fulfill this uh, like completion action automation rule. Okay, so this was about automation rules. The next thing that we had was completion actions. So completion actions, you'll find it at multiple places. So first, let us go to the form completion actions. Like I discussed, it can be at the custom redirect, it can be at the page actions, it can be at the list at the time of sending list emails, and it also can be on form submissions. Okay, and so for now, we'll just go with any of my form. So when I create a form, I get an option to define the completion actions. Okay, so if I look at this form, this is my registration form, where I can just configure the form with the field, the name of the form, the campaign that I want to align it with. Then I can select the fields that I want to put on my form. Okay, you might be aware of these steps. Then the look and feel of the form, where I want to put the how my form should look like, and the template, the submit button, and everything. And then the fourth step that you come into, the completion action. So when the form is filled up, the it's taken to the thank you page code, or the thank you URL, like the thank you page content, or the thank you URL, like redirect to a thank you URL. you have the completion actions to be defined here. So completion actions again can be same set of actions more or less that we have seen in automation rules. Okay, so here I can either add tags, I can add them to a CRM campaign, I can add them to a list right at the time of form submission if I have a specific, like a contact us form on the website. Okay, so if somebody fills up that form, you can have a separate list for that, and whoever fills up that form will be added to that list at that very time moment. So this action you can select here, or you can adjust their score if there's any form which you think that should be the score should be adjusted for that on the form submission time. So you can select the step. Then you can change the prospect custom field or default field value from here. If there's any status or if there's any information that you would like to update in the prospect information, you can just select it from here. You can do that. You can notify the assigned user or maybe the another user, par.user. So you can select this option for that purpose. You can also remove them from a list, maybe that you have them in a suppression list or something. So, or maybe that they are in some of your list that is not included for running for executing your campaigns. So you can just remove this prospect because now they have become an active prospect. Okay, and you can remove them from that inactive or cold prospects list, and you can add them to a separate list of active prospects. Like that, you can just manage the prospect from here, and you can also set the profile of the prospect from here and the source campaign. So if they are coming uh, via this form submission, you can set the source campaign as this. So whatever is the required set of action that you would like to like perform for this form submission, you can just select it from here. You can configure them. Here you can see all the multiple steps that I've used. That I want to add tags. I want to assign them to a particular user, because you know that the unassigned user does not get synced to CRM. Okay. So I want to make sure that whoever is coming through a form submission should be assigned to a user. So like that, I can just manage it. Then on the form submission, I want to send them an autoresponder email. Like you can see, if this is my uh, registration form. So after the form is submitted, I want to send them a confirmation that so you have successfully registered for this particular event or a webinar, and this is the information. Like you can just have a template ready for that, and you can use that in the send autoresponder email. Or I can also add them to a list. So I can just take these actions, and once I have done, I can confirm and save. So whenever this form is filled up, my prospect will go through all these set of completion actions I've defined here. These are not criteria based, these are only based on form submission, and this will not also take place for your visitors, uh, like the prospects who are cookied. These actions will take place for all of this prospects. So like automation rules, it was for all the prospects that you have in the system that may or may not be the cookied ones. You can have them imported, or you can have them uh, like uh, like imported or maybe synced from another platform, maybe Salesforce, or maybe from another third party application you have imported via CSV file. So it will automation rules work on the entire Pardot database, but completion actions, it's just going to take place based on the completion, the form submission and this particular form. So for every form that you have created in Pardot, you can have the completion actions defined for them differently. Now, once we have done with the completion actions, the next thing is segmentation rules. I think I'm going through the PPT only. So the next thing will be segmentation rules. So here, as I mentioned, that you can again define the segmentation rule, and based on that, whatever action you want to take for that particular list of prospects who fulfill the criteria, you can go ahead with that. And that's a one-time activity. So again, demo rule. Okay. And you can see that I'm getting an option to tag all my segmentation rules and assets for and everything. So make sure that you have a rule defined for tagging, and you keep on tagging all your assets and every rules, automations, everything in Pardot. Then here I can, just like I was defining the rules in my automation rules, here also I can define all the rules. These are all the options that I have. Okay. So if I select any of these, like the prospect tag, if my prospect tag maybe is, it can be event, okay, if they have registered for event or anything, then I want to take action. So here I've got very limited actions because this is just for the list of prospects that I'm creating. So either I can add them to a list that I've created in the system. Okay, I can just select add to list and I can select the list, or I can apply tags, or maybe add to a CRM, Salesforce CRM campaign, or I can add prospects to list. I can select the list from here that I have already created and I can add them. So there are two options here, add list. Here I can create a new one, and either I can add them to an existing list from here. Okay, I can have multiple actions. Also, I can remove the prospects. Like if there's somebody who, though I do not have them here, I can maybe test. Other than this, I can have opted out or unsubscribed as a tag. So I can just remove them from the list, and that can be the list from the existing ones that I have in the system. And then I can click on preview. Sorry, this I did not complete. Okay. So I can just check for the preview that how many prospects in my current Pardot database are matching with this segmentation rule that I've defined here. And based on that, whatever action I have defined, like add them to particular list, I can just do that. And in the preview, I can see it takes a little bit of time, like 10 to 15 minutes or maybe a little more than that. It takes a time to preview the matches, and then once you have like confirmed that okay, my segmentation rule is working fine, then I can click on run segmentation. So when I click on this, it will actually go through the entire Pyro database and it will check for the rules that I've defined, and then it will take the action. Only when I click on this run segmentation button, only at that time this rules will be executed. Okay, not automatically after every some time. So like that, I can create an automation rule here. Then we have custom redirects. Okay, so that's the fourth type of automation that we can have. So I can just create, as I mentioned, that custom redirects can be any third-party hosted links or URLs that can be placed here and tracked inside of Pardot. So I can create a custom redirect named not demo, and I can choose the campaign. So whatever as the existing campaigns that I have, I can select. Now here I can put that URL that I want to track. Okay, so that can be any URL that you would like to track in Pardot that is not hosted in Pardot. Okay, and under the tracker domain, for whatever tracker domain you have configured in the system, you can utilize them. And here again, you can set the completion actions, like whoever visits this URL, whoever clicks on this URL will will just follow the steps that are defined here. So if I want them to add tag, I can do that. And I can like assign them to a user, or like the other completion actions that we took for the completion actions, like that we can have like send an autoresponder email, maybe like you visited our website and you would you like to have like more interest or maybe connect with any of our team member like that, you can just share the autoresponder email about it. And also if you want any set of other actions to define, you can just do that here. I do not have any specific one, so I'll just select the dummy one that I have, and then I can click on create custom redirect. Okay, I do not have the URL provided here. Okay, so here I can see when I have the like this is the one that I created. So when I have the custom redirect created, I can see that who all are the prospects who clicked on the link and the time and the activity and the score. Everything that detail about that prospect you can see here. Just like you see when the prospect is submitting the form or like visiting a landing page or maybe submitting the form hosted on the landing page like that. So you can see that who all are the prospects who have gone through this particular link, who visited this particular link, and they are under this custom redirect that is there. So from here, you can take a look about custom redirects. Then it is about page actions. So, so this is the last one that we have, where the like the pages that are already tracked with the Pardot tracking code. You can see that what all are the like a specific set of completion action you can define for the pages. So here I can just put the name of the page like demo webinar. I can set the page URL. Okay, I can like put the score and the scoring category if I want to define it under that scoring category that I have in defined in Pardot. Then whether or not I want them to be called under the priority page. Okay, so when this is enabled, this is like since if I'm going to define it as a priority page. So for example, if I have the pricing page or the special services page or maybe the priority page that I have in my website, in my company website, I want to define that particular page in my Pardot page actions so that I regard it as an important or as a relevant activity of engagement. And I do not want to miss prospects who are visiting that page. Okay. So I can mark this as my priority page and this will stand out in my prospect activities that they have gone through this page and they have shown interest. Like it is considered to be a relevant interest from the prospects activity side. So in that way, I can just mark it as a priority page, or if not, if it's just going to be a normal Pardot tracked page, so you can just leave it as blank, and then you can define the completion actions over here. So it can be like you want to add tags to those prospects, or maybe like assign them to a user, and similar tasks that we had for completion actions. So these are all the tasks that you can define here. Okay, my the priority page. Anything that's more specific and that is more relatable to for this page that you have defined here, you can just put it here and you can click on the create page action button. Once you do that, now whenever any prospect visits this page, the URL that you have used here in the page URL option, whenever they visit that, this completion action that you've defined here, all the steps that will take place. So yeah, so that is all that we have about the automations. So now anything, maybe I've missed something, or maybe if you have any questions or any doubts, so you can just feel free to ask me. I think it's too early that we have finished up with the content part. Am I audible?
Well, Soumya.
All right, all right. Yeah.
Okay, so
So,
we have
uh-huh.
certain questions for you.
Okay.
Uh, can we access Pardot with platform license in Salesforce?
No. Pardot is just like you have it installed in your Salesforce, and with the Salesforce licenses that you have, you can just use them.
Okay. The next question is, can we use segmentation rules to create priority calling tasks?
Priority calling tasks, like, can you just elaborate a little more? I mean, you can have a combination of these rules also. Like what I have shown you is a separate what every automation rule, completion action, page action, how they look like and how you can configure them. But you can also have them as a dependent set of actions that are there. So, for example, if I want the completion action to add a tag or maybe a value, that a prospect value has been changed for the prospect on the completion action. So now if that is done, based on that, okay, now you have in the let's say on the form submission, you have the completion action that the prospect value is changed to this for a particular field. Now on that particular field change, you can see that if this particular field has got this value, I can have an automation rule that is running, and it can be like running in sync with the completion action that is there for the Pardot form submission, like that. Similarly, for the page actions, you can have the tags or maybe the actions, specific actions that are defined there in completion action. You can define them there, and along with that, you can use that value and you can create an automation rule or maybe like segmentation rule, and you can use them. So a combination of these rules can also be used based on your use case. So I would like to have more clarity on what use case you want to implement it with.
There's a follow up question. He says that like a campaign call for hot leads.
Okay. So I mean, I still did not get it. Maybe we can connect offline and we can get into the depth of it and we can look into how we can implement it. Yeah.
The next question is, while creating page action, if we give the score of 5 and in Pardot scoring rule, we have 3 as a score for page action, will it score 8 or how will it score it?
Yes, the default Pardot scoring rule that is there in the system that will execute, and other than that, on the top of it, you will have these uh, the scores that you have mentioned for page actions, or maybe that you adjust at the time of completion actions that you have defined, so that that score gets updated on top of that. Yeah.
I want to filter my prospect based on state. Is it possible?
Yes, you can. So you can use the prospect default field value where the default field is state, and the state value you can define. That can be a single state or maybe multiple states. You can the values that you have. Okay, you can have a comma separated values placed there, and on the basis of that, you can have the rules defined.
What is the capability of completion action in Pardot?
Capabilities of completion action is just like based on a particular prospect activity, you want to take certain actions. So as I said, automation rule is not based on not directly based on the prospect action. So let's say if I want that somebody who has filled up my form, so as soon as they have filled up a form, this action should be taken that I've defined. So there like completion actions take place. Similarly for page actions, or maybe for custom redirects, if somebody in the page action that I've defined, if somebody visits that page, what action should be taken? So there it takes place based on a particular action from the prospect side. But when I talk about automation rule or segmentation rule, they are based on the information that you have stored inside of Pardot. Like if Pardot says that this page has been visited, so you can just take at the prospect information that this page has been visited, and based on that, you can define actions. maybe similarly for the form you can do, but that is the information that is stored in your database. But when I talk about completion actions, they execute based on prospect activity. So it's like that. I made it clear to you.
Thank you. There's one more question. We have placed one campaign code throughout our website and have one custom redirect in Pardot, which is associated with some other campaign. Now, when someone clicks on that link, the prospect gets created with the campaign which we have throughout our website and not that of the custom redirect, which I guess it should be. Can you help here?
So for the custom redirect, is that a visitor who has filled up a form, or is it a prospect who has filled up a form? That makes a difference, because as I mentioned, for the completion actions to take place,
State prospect.
if it's a prospect, then it also I would also not like to know that from where they have filled up the form, like how they have come into your system, perform this activity. Yeah, sorry.
Twitter post.
From a Twitter post, and what's
Yes.
is that Twitter post the tracked page? Sorry, the custom redirect. I guess that's a custom redirect that's created.
Yes. The Twitter post had the custom redirect.
Okay. I mean, I got a little confused with the scenario. If you can, is that question there in the chat so I can read and go through it?
Yes. It's by the name Diksha.
Okay,
A
let me
little
go
on
through
the
it.
top, like the second question.
Okay. Okay, Diksha, I think I got your question, but I'll have to see that what's the like the activity level for that prospect. Like if they have maybe clicked on that link and then maybe from uh, I mean, I'll have to see that whether they have visited the page after that, or maybe on that directly on that link, like that.
Okay. So we'll
Yeah.
take the next question. Is there any specific reason due to which we can't use Pardot with platform licenses?
I mean, I don't know, but not exactly. The platform licenses are not for this purpose, but yes, you have to use it. It actually like works with the Salesforce user. So basically, the Salesforce user with the Salesforce license can only be able to we are only able to access, or maybe if you have defined in a way that these particular set of users should have the access to Pardot.
We have if we have advanced type of license and we are accessing Pardot in our prod.org, can we also set it up in our site.org, which is partial copy?
So you are talking about the sandbox?
Partial copy is a sandbox.
Yeah. So for sandbox, you can have a Pardot sandbox installed for it. So it can have a different like setup, and you have to again do the setup that you have done in your production. So let's say if your Salesforce production org is connected to Pardot production org, so you cannot have the production org connected to Pardot production org connected to Salesforce sandbox. So for Salesforce sandbox, you need to have a separate Pardot sandbox that needs to be configured, and all the steps need to be like redone again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific permission needed to get access to Pardot along with the licenses? For example, does the marketing feature license need to be turned on Pardot admin, or just a user license is enough?
A user license along with the Pardot permission sets through which they can have access to the Pardot application and the respective, if they are taking like part, they are working on the related Pardot Salesforce objects like the leads, contacts, accounts, like that. So all that access needs to be given. So
Okay,
it's done based on the permission sets that you are assigned to them. Yeah.
perfect. How Pardot differs from Marketo?
How Pardot differs from Marketo, I mean, I've not used Marketo yet, so I cannot actually comment, but it's just what we have heard from our clients is majorly in terms of the UI that's more simpler, that's more user friendly. Whoever is working on Pardot, it's convenient and easier for them to like select the options, create emails, landing pages, forms, like that thing. And also it has got an advantage of the seamless sync of data from Pardot to Salesforce and vice versa. So though more or less the features are same, but the way you are utilizing it and the way you are working on it makes a difference.
Okay, and the last question is difference between Marketing Cloud and Pardot.
Difference between Marketing Cloud and Pardot is like Pardot majorly has email marketing that you get by default, and if you want to use other functionalities like sending SMS or maybe sending WhatsApp notifications or engaging them in your social media content like social posts and like adding them to the ad audience. So you do not get it only with Pardot, but you can utilize it if you use it along with these systems that are there integrated with Salesforce. Okay, so you can sync the data between Salesforce and Pardot, and like indirect way you can channel it, your prospects, you can channel it to those particular platforms. But in Marketing Cloud you get them all in one place. Like you can utilize that same like contact data that you have in the system for sending SMS, and you can create cross channel journeys. Like in Pardot we can only send them emails. Like when we create the automated campaigns, we can only have the emails in the journey, send emails, and then actions we can take based on that. But in Marketing Cloud you can like select the audience list, and you can send emails, you can send SMS, you can send WhatsApp notifications, you can also add them to the ad audience. So like in just one journey you can like connect with your audience via different channels. So that's the advantage of using Marketing Cloud, but it depends that what your business is like. So, and you can also use Pardot in association with these different platforms or tools, but it's like it's not there in the system. You have to configure it separately based on your preferences.
Thank you so much, Soumya, for such an insightful session and answering to all the questions. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
All right. And like the questions that we just missed, or maybe I need more details on that, you can maybe connect with me later.